Hello, and welcome back to Death Stranding, the board game development thing. Yay! Ooh, hang on, I just realized I didn't turn down the volume on the music. There we go, now it won't be overwhelmingly loud. So yeah, new recording session of this. We've since done the artwork, and now I'm just gonna continue doing all of this. And I think I want to do an additional color of tile, is something I've decided since. I think I'm going to do away with the orange lines and instead replace those with orange squares. It's just navigating those squares is rough terrain, and you can't bring vehicles into rough terrain, which will be another benefit of building the roads in that they will pass through rough terrain areas. So we're gonna go ahead and boom, 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 boom. Yep. Yeah. And then we're gonna get a little bit of a color shift going here. Also, hang on, let me make it so I can see my chat. Also, go check out my friend Broditus' YouTube channel. That's Brodidus. He's been uploading content, and I want to direct people to him, because he's a homie. He also has a section in the Gas Network. Links down below. Join it. Right, edit, adjustments, hue and saturation. We're gonna make it green. Red. Red denotes, mountains. And, I will say, hang on, I'm gonna quickly look at some, notes to see what day this was gonna be going up for me. Yeah, when's this video getting uploaded? It's getting uploaded on the... Hang on, here we go. Yeah, this is getting uploaded on the 21st. And the 22nd is when Death Stranding 2 comes out. These videos will continue to go out until... Or the 26th, I mean, is when Death Stranding 2 comes out. These will continue into the 28th. And then starting on the 29th, we're going to start our my playthrough of Death Stranding 2. And then I think that this is going to be put as a back burner bonus stream that will be like once a week on occasion interlaced with other things. As I work out changes to my streaming schedule that have been happening. So yeah, these are all rough terrain squares that to cross. You need to have a special... You need to have rough terrain equipment. And just now... Or you can cross without, but it will be harder to do mechanically. Yeah, I hope I'm making sense. I want to figure out a different way to denote the canyony area, which I might do over time. I wanted to know all of this as rough terrain. I'm thinking I might just label the canyons as rough terrain as well, because, like, on a very basic level, there's not much that mechanically separates the, words. That mechanically separates the... God, I can use words. God, words, I can use them. Give me a second. I actually want to make all of these tar locations. I lost my train of thought. Although something I want to do real quick. Or no, we're gonna leave these green for now. I completely lost my train of thought of what I was saying there. Sorry, everybody, I'm stupid. Oh, one thing I know I want to do. There we go. See, I just want to straight up everywhere where it's the canyon zones. I want to just put the red tiles. Actually, what would it look like if I just? Yeah, that's good enough for me. So yeah, this denotes difficult terrain. So moving on these squares, require you either have a higher risk of damaging your cargo, or you have to use equipment you have. Is the way the game would work. So like, I'm thinking when you move around, right? Moving is a free action that you do. But every time you make a movement, your boots equipment will take a damage. And if you don't have boots, all terrain is treated as rough terrain. Anytime you move on rough terrain, you must roll a d6, and if you roll below a certain threshold, then you damage your cargo. And that threshold can be... What's the word I'm looking for? That threshold can change based off of equipment that you have. Yeah. I hope that made sense. Ba-ba-bum. That's considered rough terrain. Come on, pick this up. I want to make a road running along here, I've decided. Bum. Ba-da. Bup. Ba-da. Bup. Bup. Did it. Bup. Bup. This is all rough terrain spaces. Do I still have the water highlight layer I had made previously? No. And all of the teal colored terrain is both considered rough terrain and snowy. Like, snowy is basically a 1 difficulty up from what rough terrain is, mechanically. Alright. Also, let me adjust my mic a little. There we go. Oh, no, all of this needs to be labeled as rough terrain as well. Ugh! Making more work for myself. And And I think the game will have two modes, a co-op mode and a competitive mode, right? So in competitive mode, you're competing for the most likes by being the best delivery man to try and become a legendary porter. There'll also be a single player mode where instead you have to like find and link up a certain number of shelters within a time limit. And cooperative mode does the same thing, but you are all working together to do it, and the more players you have, the more shelters you need to find and connect. And I'm thinking this might be one of those games where, like, every player is given a secret goal they have to accomplish that will get them bonus points, like, oh, be the player to place the final highway, or just in this game have the highway be completed, and that'll give you like plus 10,000 likes if that's one of your goals, or a goal of like build 10 bridges, or reach 5 stars with this prepper, or transport this many goods from this city to this city. Has like secret bonus objectives that will gain you a big old increase in points when you do them. One thought I have of what could be theoretically a good way to create the lines between spaces is I could just... Oop, hang on, I could just do this in theory, hang on. And boom, that denotes that they're connected. I might do that, honestly. You know what, let's go up here. And let's just start doing that and see how that feels. Oh, Jesus. And that gives me a sort of standard unit of measurement that I should use for connecting things, honestly. Okay, hear me out. I know you're all gonna be very pissed at me with me doing this, but hear me out. What if? What if? What if? No, I'm not gonna start a whole new layer and start from scratch. That'd be stupid. Alright, let's just continue working on this layer. One of those boring parts of game board design. As a kid, I loved making my own board games and shit. I don't know if any of those are in any kind of recoverable state, though. And this gives me a really, really good standard unit of measurements to know if I'm making a line too big or too small, honestly, or a distance too big or too small. It might tell me, like, hey, you need to add extra squares or remove squares. What would it look like if I just... Hang on. Oh, Jesus. That doesn't even look too bad. Stretching it. In the very end, I'm gonna do, in order to help make everything merge a little bit better, I'm gonna do the adjustments, or no, sorry, the effects, conversion, not drunk, a low-level blur effect on everything, I think. Ooh, negative. Yeah, the low-level hard blur. But that'll be for later. And that'll just help mold everything together a little better. But, are you all enjoying this process? I'm hoping that see, this is one of my series I do on my channel that I feel like is a 100% background study project series. Like, you're studying or working on an art project, or maybe even editing your own videos, and you're doing this. Or you have this on in the background while you do it, I mean. That's what I imagine this series is like for a lot of people. I think this looks good. Alright. But that was just a distraction experiment. Let's, get back to what we were just doing of rough terrain coverage, which, actually, I think I've gotten most of the rough terrain covered now. You know what? No, yeah, let's keep on doing this part, because this might actually tell me things I want to change. Which, on that, let me grab some red. Yeah, and so a red connecting line denotes that we are crossing water. And you therefore will need to build a bridge or risk dealing increased damage to your cargo. Hang on, actually, I'm thinking. These gave me a standard unit of measurement of how big I should make tiles. So with that, I should actually take advantage of that and use it as a sign of when certain things need to be adjusted in position slightly. First of all, I want to rotate this a little. Because that's a nicer looking line. That one came out looking weird for some reason. So we're just gonna pull this one in a little. Go ahead and do this here. And this here. Oh yeah, this is looking like a much nicer board, I think. I don't know, what do you all think? Does using the curved lines feel off? Because I personally think it looks very good. Connect this up here. And yeah, like I said, by creating this unintentional standardized unit of measurement, it gives me a motivation to adjust things to slightly nicer spots. Means I'm going to have a lot less of massively spread out spaces and massively scrunched together spaces compared to what I've had. Something I do like is this setup doesn't unintentionally make it so that there's the potential of, like, this being a prepper shelter right next to the city. Alright. See, like, I think what this is telling me is that I actually need another space here. Excuse me. I hate it when it does the massive highlight more things thing. Or maybe I just need to scrunch this in more this way. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Mm-mm-mm. Ooh. Just stretching a little. Man, we've already hit the 20-minute mark on this one, huh? Time flies. Alright, and I think what I've just learned here is that I'm gonna want another dot along here. And I think, like, it's pretty clear what connects to what. I don't think there's gonna be much confusion in how I've set things up. And so, my brother's been getting really into Animorphs. Because, like, it's one of those series where he always saw it as a kid and wanted to read it, but never did. And now, as an adult, he's been listening to an audiobook while he's doing household chores and taking care of his niece. Or my niece, his daughter. But, yeah, while he's taking care of his daughter. And, he's been talking with me about it, and Animorphs is fucking insane, man. I kind of love it. It reminds me of my favorite genre of fiction, which is pulp sci-fi. Pulp sci-fi from, like, the 1920s is one of my favorite genres of fiction. It's that and dystopian. It's part of why I love Fallout, is Fallout blends the best elements of pulp sci-fi and dystopian fiction. And, like, it's just very cool. Because I'm sure everybody has that universal, weird, surreal childhood experience of seeing an Animorphs book on the shelf but never reading it. And what Animorphs is about is there is a galactic war going on between a hyper-advanced alien race that uses their intelligence to gift and aid lesser races and teach them how to survive better, and the Yeerks, a race of mind-controlling alien slugs. The benevolent alien race, which I forget the name of right now, were the ones who accidentally gave the Yeerks the ability of deep space travel, an action which they deeply, deeply regret. And now Yeerks are invading Earth in a bot invasion of the Body Snatchers style invasion, so one of the aliens who can, with the advanced technology, has reached out to a group of humans to aid them in fighting the Yeerks, and gifting them the ability to animorph, the ability to change into any animal that they, like, touch and get DNA from, I believe is how it works. It's like a touch-based thing, I think. And now they're basically conscripted into a galactic war, and it's absolutely fucking insane. And I love that. It's very cool. I've been telling my brother that if he ran a Animorphs tabletop campaign, I would 100% love to be a player in that shit. He's building a Pokemon tabletop campaign for me because he's a big Pokemon fan. Oops. Like this over here. Ah, look at that. Look at that. This is actually coming together quite nicely. And again, some of these may look a little weird, but again, if we go into effects, invert, not drunk, geez, it always jumps to the drunk layer. That will make it a whole lot better. And if I also heighten the contrast after the fact, like, hang on, let me show you. Yeah, boom. Just a few visual effects, and it fixes all of the messiness that comes from rotating these. I think I want one more that goes here. And what that will let me do is do a red line connecting these two. And a red line that will go like this to connect to what this guy's about to be connecting to. Oops. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. Perfect. This immediately looks much nicer than how I've been having it look, and I'm very happy with that fact. Stretching a little. Wrong thing. When it highlights way more than what I selected for some reason. My thought is that maybe this area will exist as a place for you to place things on the board. Like, you know, areas that will, like, where you'll be able to place cards on the board are going to be everything up here, everything over here, everything over here, along over here. Like, these are going to be spaces that will have zones for you to place playing cards and stuff, and token counters. In fact, I think in a physical version of this board game, you would get an elevated version of this crater that you could place down. It would be like a token bin for you to dump things into. Where's Inglert's place? It's right there. Give me this one. Hang on. We're gonna put another midway step one right around here. And then... Alright, now that we've once again connected Pizza Man, I think we're going to wrap up that episode there. This is a good improvement. I'm glad I decided on the red tiles. I'm very happy with the changes that are going on here. I think this is a vast improvement on the board, visually, everything happening here. So yeah, we're gonna... Oop, there we go. We're gonna wrap up that episode there. Hope you've all been enjoying this episode of Death Stranding board game development. Come back tomorrow for more. Love y'all, and ta-ta for now.